Hey, Dennis, we are meeting today. We're waiting just a few extra minutes for some more folks to join into the room, and we'll finish up the week. Got a good session planned. David says he looked for the retirement session at 2 p.m. but couldn't find the invite link. Yeah, got to make sure you join that Telegram channel. That's where we posted the invite. If you're not in the Telegram channel, you did not get an invite. So maybe scroll through all your Telegram channels. Make sure you have the Retirement Center one, and if you don't, I'm going to post a link in the chat so you can go ahead and get joined right away.
Neil, I sent it to him. He should be sending it to you. Check your email.
And yeah, Neil, I actually just a few minutes ago sent it to you, so it's probably just getting there to your inbox.
Yeah, just confirm you got it, Neil.
It's like somebody's enjoying your SPX trading, Tom.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm really thrilled how far we've come in a short period of time. And I've got some other stuff to show you folks. Um, and I give credit to Jim. Uh, he's been doing really well. With everything, using different times and stuff, using different strategies. And so anyway, I've got something that I've been working on that I'll be able to share next week in one of our beta sessions. Uh, when do we go live with that? It's September 15th, another 10 days. We probably ought to give people a last chance sometime next week if they want to get involved. But Jonathan, I want to organize the master classes. So will you get a list of the master classes that we've done and the titles where I can organize those and be able to cover that in the presentation? Okay. The topics that we covered and stuff.
And to be clear, you want that for this presentation just now?
No, not this one now. I'm talking about next week. I'm talking about next week. I'll pick a time and I'll go over it and have sort of a last call before we get to the actual kickoff.
Yep, sounds good.
Okay. That's too valuable not to be part of. Based on the numbers and what I'm hearing, you can teach people when they learn the right way. Yeah, let's do it Sunday night, Adam. Good idea. That gives people time all week to do it, okay?
Sunday night planning featuring SPX.
Yeah. We'll organize what we've done and some of the stories, and then we'll take some people in before we kick it off September 15th. Let's do that, Adam. That's a great idea. Great idea. Adam's the idea generator. Yeah, the retirement folks, we're really doing some good work there, and I think that you ought to join. Hope we got a slide in here to invite you in, but come into the Telegram channel, and that's going to get stronger and stronger as we get into October. I'm doing a lot of work there. After all, it's our retirement money. We got to grow that sucker. There's risk involved in trade. Did y'all know that? Past performance is not indicative of future results. In my opinion, the market will go higher. Today we hit a high of 65.41. It put some overhead into the current market. We got support beneath it. We've identified this number. Write this number down. This is the number that we're operating off of right now to sort of the balance point in the market. The number is 64.55. That number comes from how high we've been, how low we've been, and it's called the midpoint of that range. And that's an important range going into next week, 64.55. Okay? It's just a technique and everything. We finished the 3 days. We'll cover that, the 3-day tickers, and Jonathan will update that in this session. Make sure, though, you join. This is going to happen Monday. This has got even bigger for $9.99. We're over 500 people. Make sure if you are a member of the weekly letter, you come into the room, the Telegram channel, because I'm posting things in there. This has got even more value to it. I've got Chuck now doing an assessment of what we say to make sure everybody gets the point on Wednesdays, okay? It's got bigger and bigger. So make sure you're part of the weekly trade letter. It's $9.99 for a year. For a year. If you've got any questions, you call 904-706-3532. Thank you very much. 500 people. Now, this is a retirement center. I started this idea. We put it together. We're using Tasty Trade as our platform. This is something that's over and above the call of duty, so to speak. And it's pretty good stuff. Jonathan, could you send out, do me a favor, all the people that's a member, or Adam, all the people that's a member of the Retirement Center, we're getting a lot of requests. How do they sign up for the Telegram channel? How about sending that out to the people that signed up? Adam would probably do it better than you, Jonathan, on that deal. But where Manny can be in there. Adam, you'll handle that, won't you? Jonathan, make sure Adam knows to do that.
All right. Can you be a little bit more specific on what exactly you want?
Yeah. In other words, send out all the members. There's 500 plus members. We've got, not all those members have made it to the Telegram channel. So do an email or a text and say, go to here. Here's your invite for your room, your weekly room. Take 5 or take 30 seconds and join the room, is all I'm saying.
Yep.
There's a disconnect from people signing up and not following through. We need to look at that when they do sign up to make sure that they are getting in that room. They're leaving a lot of the value on the table, okay, by not being a member in that room, okay? We got 500 people. I want to be communicating with those people.
So the retirement channel?
Yeah, the Telegram channel. Well, not just the Telegram channel. They need to do that too, Adam, but I'm talking about the weekly letter.
Yeah, so they get an email without a sign up. A lot of people just won't do it.
Yeah, I know, but we got to remind them that there's more value to their product if they'll do it. Some people don't recognize it. They sign up and they don't realize there's other things going on with that program. Yeah, exactly. It's like subscribing to a magazine and never reading it. But let's get involved. This is really special. I think some of the most successful students I have keep telling me they love it because on Monday afternoon, when they get a copy of it, and then Wednesday now that we're doing a review, calling to attention things that might have changed from Monday to Wednesday. They're getting a lot of value out of this. I just don't want people to miss it. As far as the retirement center, we've got a lot of people that signed up. And Jonathan, I think you got a list of those people requesting. We want to send out email, try to get them into the the channel also, okay? It's that second step, 2 steps to success is what I would title it. One, you signed up, check completed. The second thing, come into the Telegram channel. How do you sign up for retirement? Send an email to Jonathan Rowe at Rowe@DTI Trader. You'll be signed up, Lisa. See, there's somebody right there wanting to sign up. Rowe@DTI Trader. Just send him an email and he'll send you the instructions. No cost, just do it. The newsletter, you got to sign up for, if you put the newsletter link in there right now, I know I got the retirement center, or go back a slide, let them see that. There's the newsletter, dtitrader.com/week. This is a big success. Over 500 people have joined, and all I'm saying to it, come into the Telegram channel. Get the rest of your value. That's like getting free car washes and never going to get in a car wash.
Yeah, folks, we post it every time we go live. You don't need to email me either unless you just want to. We got a slide here. I posted the slides. I posted the link for the weekly trade letter. You can click the link right inside the chat, or you can go to the slides to click it. Same goes for
and
Tom's retirement account.
Yeah, and what you can do if you don't want to be notified, you just go there at your own time. I like to be notified when things are happening. Kevin, who's very successful, he said he looks at the trade letter Monday afternoon to prepare for the trade day Tuesday. That's what the whole thing was designed to wrap up what I say Sunday night and take advantage of it Monday, right? Or Tuesday. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Who wouldn't want to be notified to make money? Y'all know how much money I did it by manual. You know how much money the free train and trade paid this week using $1,000 investment? Take a guess how much you'd made if you just took $1,000 off every trade I did on train and trade. There's no report of this. There's nothing out there. But if you were there, you had an opportunity taking 4 trades, putting up $1,000 and making about $1,000 this week on that. That's 100% on your dollar. Train and trade. Folks, I'm there. I'm a trader. If I see things, I'm going to let you know. I don't say, oh, don't give it to them because they might make money. I want you to make money. Right, Carol? I'm telling you what, I would sign up for train and trade. It's so valuable and it's free. Separate channel. Kevin's taking advantage of this and his account's growing. Carol's taking advantage of it. Don't be so standoffish. Get to know us. Mark says better than what is better than a needle in the eye or poke in the eye or something like that. Sharp stick in the eye. That's it. That's what we're trying to say. Anyway, that's the retirement center. That's I'm telling you about it because once October kicks off, all you're going to hear about, hey, I made 30% in my retirement account the last quarter. And you go, why didn't I make that? Well, I'm going to be able to say you didn't listen because I sure have said enough about it, haven't I? For something totally free. Adam's skin rolls when I say that because he knows we're doing all this work to help you. Adam's going, Tom gives away so much free stuff. The DTI referral, Jonathan's got it. If you want to train from the Tasty Trade platform, that's the one I'm using for my IRA. So you already use the same one. The way I see it. All right, we just had somebody that signed up for that class. Thank you very much, John. And hey, if you're in Florida and I'm doing this, you ought to take time to do it. It's a heck of a deal. You make money while you're with me, face to face. You get all the questions answered about how to do this game of trading and manage your money in those 2 days, and you get great food. What else you want? Get a free year in our Telegram program for Futures First. We train every Monday night in futures. I believe in futures. Came out of retirement to do it. I think I'm helping people. At least that's what they tell me when they type. Made $1,000, made $500. I can teach you more in 2 days than you'll learn all year long if you'll just take the time to come visit me. Carol, how many times did you come this year down here to meet with me? 4 or 5? Carol's got it going on. You'd have to ask Jeffrey. She came so much. She almost bought a place down here. Anyway, that's the futures class.
And I guess the one in September, Tom, the week after the Fed meeting, right?
Yep, that's why it's scheduled that way, because that's an early look at how to trade. Thanks, Carrod. Good job. All right, let's go through. This is Jonathan's. This is something Jonathan, I want to give him full credit. He took the DTI method and put it on a spreadsheet it's so valuable. We don't charge for this. We give it to you. Jimmy? Take it away, Jonathan.
Okay, let me get this updated. It is 3:22 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday, September 5th. We added some stocks earlier. I think I accounted for that, should have.
Well, we got some new people, so why don't you explain the value of having this and what it's telling us? If I'm a trader, what would you tell me about this?
I can do that. A big part of Tom's method is establishing a frame to work from. It's a part of the process of trading where, and to define what a frame is, you can have a high point and a low point in a market, which establishes a high-low frame. And then you look for the market to break out of that frame to the upside for bullish or down below that frame for bearish. What we do is we take the first 3 trade days of each month. That's trade days of each month. For this month, that was Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And so these columns that say FTD high and FTD low, that's the highest high from the first 3 trade days of the month, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of this week, and the lowest low from those 3 trade days for this month, which again, were Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of this week. We also give you the month open. Now, if a stock can get above the first 3 days high, that's setting up bullish for the month. Or if it falls below the 3-day low, that's setting up bearish for the month. That's the purpose of this spreadsheet. We have a column out here to the right, or 2 columns that say above FTD high or below FTD low. And it's pretty simple. It takes the current price, like on the S&P here, of 64.89. And if it's above the high, it would say long. It doesn't say long. Or if it's below the low, it would say short. If the current price is below the FTD low, it would say short. You can see the S&P doesn't say either. So we know that the S&P is still, the futures there are still trading inside of the range from the first 3 trade days of the month of September. So let's scan down through the list to see what's long and what's short. The first one we come to is crude oil, which is currently says short because the current price is below the low from the first 3 trade days of the month. The first 3 trade days of the month on the crude oil was 62.72, the low. Current price 62.04, which I grabbed about 3 to 5 minutes ago at this point. And so that's why it's saying short on crude oil. If you look at gold, it says long. Why does it say long? Because the current price is above the first 3-day high. And naturally, if the high made during the first 3 trade days of the month is 36.40, that 36.40 high from the first 3 trade days of the month is going to be higher than the month open. It might be right at it. It could be a situation where the month open was the exact high, on unusual, right? Or the month open could be the exact low. That's also unusual. But by nature of how this works, the high and low prints, if a stock gets above the first 3 days high, it's also going to be above the month open. 2 check marks for the bulls on gold. Or if the stock falls below the first 3 days low, then it's also going to be below the month open. So that would be 2 check marks for the bears. But some would ask, well, why do you even include the month open? Well, the month open is critical to our method. We always want to know what the month open number is. And so that's why we include it here on the spreadsheet. And again, I'll post the slides again. This spreadsheet here that we're looking at. You
Hey, Jonathan, when you finish this up, let's take a 5-minute break. I got something I want to go get and talk about, okay? I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Tom's mind is always at work here. I look forward to seeing what he has to say. But the spreadsheet is on slide number 9. Okay, slide number 9. You save the spreadsheet to your computer. Every time I update it, it will update. You'll see the updated. That's how the sheet works. Thanks to technology being great. All right, let's keep going down the list here. And again, this is the first day after the first 3 days of the month. Next week's going to be critical in how these trends start to take shape for the month. Got a little mixed bag on technology. That's the same as it was, at least at the second half of last month. Got some long, some short. Home Depot is long in hurricane season. There's GLD. That's been really the precious metals market has been the market of choice here over the past 2 weeks or so. And then these down here are dividend paying stocks that Tom likes. My question in the chat, let's see here, is Tom back? Not yet, but the question in the chat is, so what do you do with these? Do you sell puts? Do you buy calls? What do you do? Buy shares? It's really a trader's choice. This is the way this works. We use this on a monthly basis to find stocks that are establishing bullish trends for the month or establishing bearish trends for the month. If something breaks early, it's usually good for about the first half of the month. And the mid-month gives, Tom is always incorporating the element of time. And time is always constant in the fact that it's always a critical factor in trading. And so an additional insight you can kind of watch for is that mid-month. Sometimes stocks can, if they're falling hard, they can turn around mid-month or vice versa. Middle of the month, whatever reason, can have that effect, not just on stocks, on commodities too, like gold and perhaps crude oil. Yes, the link to the spreadsheet is in the slides, slide number 9. It's a question in the chat. Why don't we use the year open? The year open is definitely very, very important, especially at the first of the year. Now we're in month number 9 now. And so usually when you get to month number 9 on the year, we've moved a pretty good bit away from the year open most of the time. And so as the months go along, the Euro Open can lose a little bit of its significance in terms of immediate significance. Now, this year, the S&P futures opened the year at 59.49. We're trading at 64.90. So we're a good bit. We're 500 points above the Euro Open or whatever percentage that is, somewhere between 5 and 10%, I believe. All right. So if the market started to really turn down, well, then as it became closer and closer to the Euro Open, then the Euro Open is going to become more and more relevant in terms of potential support levels, right? But again, once you get so far through the year, if you're a certain amount away from the Euro Open, the immediate significance of that key number, while it's still relevant, the immediate significance, say for this week or perhaps even for this month, becomes less relevant. And so we want to focus more on the monthly open. Speaking of that sort of concept, next month is the start of the fourth quarter. And that's when you'll hear Tom say this is the October Open acts like a second year open almost as we start the fourth quarter. How do we choose these tickers? Tom chooses them. Julian, when Tom joins, if he sees and wants to go through that, I'll let him do that. Since we seem to want to repeat this a lot, let's just go through what we've covered so far. On Monday afternoon, after the close, Tom releases the T-Buzz Weekly Trade Letter. I call Tom and get all the information from him, and then we release the T-Buzz Weekly Trade Letter. You can sign up at dtitrader.com/weekly. And when you sign up, you receive an email. And inside that email is a link to join the Telegram channel, which we hope you do, so you don't miss anything. On Monday afternoon, when the report is released, I'll post a note into the Telegram channel saying the weekly trade letter is ready for review, and then you can log into your One Click Trading membership area and read the 2 to 3 page report. Jam-packed with all kinds of information, including a broad market update, Tom's thoughts for the week ahead. We give you key news for the week, economic news. Next week we have CPI and PPI. In 2 weeks we have the Fed meeting. We give you key earnings to watch. We give you Tom's magic 5 stocks. That's 5 stocks that Tom's watching very closely for the week. We give you a trigger number for each of those where Tom will be triggering in other words, making trades on them. And we give you his targets and support levels as well. Resistance and support levels that can be used as targets or all bets off. And then the special opportunity of the week, sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's 2, but it's always one focus point on what really has Tom's attention. I mentioned this once again before Tom comes on. We can sign up for Tom's free Telegram channel on the retirement education. He had a session today. You'll find the recordings from today's session in the chat. Benjamin wants me to shush up because you're back, Tom. I'm happy to be quiet. Back to you, Tom.
Back to me, huh? Okay. All right. Hey, folks. Next week, put this on your calendar, okay? Put this on the calendar, okay? It'll be September the 11th, Thursday. Put this on your calendar. September 11th, I will be doing at 3 o'clock on that Thursday, a special flash meeting. And in that flash meeting, I will show you at mid-month, after those big reports, Tuesday and Thursday, I think, right, Jonathan, is what we checked. I will show you how to take that information and make money, okay? Let's do it at 3 o'clock, Jonathan, on Thursday, okay?
Thursday at 3. Thursday at 3. Let's see. Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, just put that on the schedule. That'll be a special to show you how to make money off those reports. We'll have 3 in our pocket, the unemployment report today and the PPI, CPI next week, okay? So that's what we'll do next Thursday at 3 o'clock, okay? Now, you'll be notified in your Telegram channel, okay, that we're doing that, all right? Just to let you know, remind. All right, Jonathan, we've got to do the weekend side hustle trade. Why don't we take 3 minutes? I'll give you a call and give you the criteria, and we'll get that trade out right now before we go any further, okay? Joe just sent me a message, said, don't forget the weekend side hustle. I'm spending the money already. All right, folks, I gave it to Jonathan. And if you're on the weekend side hustle, I would be looking for that trade to fill up your screen.
And
Joe, after you make what you paid me for that, I know you have, did I start getting a dividend off that sort of pay me ongoing? I'm just curious. Joe's one of our great students. He's actually coming down for a one-on-one. And I'm kidding him a little bit. He's a drummer. Frank says, dream on. You must be from California, Frank, with that kind of attitude. Hey, hey, Frank, you know where Rancho Cordova is in California, up there around Sacramento? Yep. Mark Spitz was from there, wasn't he? Y'all remember Mark Spitz, the swimmer? That's what Jeff sent me. Every day is a holiday, right? Okay. No, he's putting that trade out for the weekend side hustle people, and I'm giving them time to get the trade on before the close here on Friday. Michelle knows who I'm talking about. He ended up being a dentist, I think, right? Dentist. Now, yeah, gold medals, right? A lot of gold medals. I think, did he get 7? 7 gold medals? That's from memory. I don't know. He got a bunch. Neil says galore. 7 was right, Frank? Boy, that Prevagen works, doesn't it? All right, so one of the things that we do, we try to give you subjects that are exciting. We talk to people and say, what would you like us to cover in train and trade? If you ever have a subject you would like us to cover in train and trade, send the subject to Row at DTI Trader, and we'll try to add it in if we can do it. Okay. That's for the train and trade at 11 o'clock. I forget which day it is, but next week's education is really, really good. On Monday, we're going to talk about the famous horse race trade. Been doing it for years. I'm going to show you how to take these stocks that we pick out from Jonathan's spreadsheet and put it into the horse race trade on Monday and show you what the market tells us is the best horse to ride. Now, this is something that I used to do a long time ago on a regular basis. That's why I developed this feature inside the roadmap, okay? And I did that because I wanted to make sure that I was putting my money on the best paying horse. That's what the name came from. So on Monday, we'll cover that and show you how it works. We'll take the stocks that qualify, and those stocks we'll plug it in during the train and trade session on Monday. Okay. Now, has anybody ever done that? Let me ask that question. If you haven't done it, you ought to make it a thing on Monday that you do. It's really a very valuable thing to do, and we'll just demonstrate it by showing you how it works. Okay. That'll be our plan at this time. Okay. That will be our plan. On Tuesday, I'm going to show you a strategy. How many people would like to get a paycheck every Tuesday? My goal on Tuesday is to show you how to make trade day pay you every Tuesday. Okay? You think that ought to be an interesting topic? I'll give you a plan that you can use every Tuesday. Okay? Venus said, I'll take all the money I can get. Absolutely. That's on Wednesday. How to establish, always have a, hey, this is a trade. This is where I'm going to enter. This is my target. And this is where I'm wrong. I will show you how to establish that from the market on Wednesday. Okay. That'll be a great topic to cover. The next Thursday session will be at 1 o'clock on Thursday. Understanding seasonality and the ability to use major economic reports to predict direction. This is something that we'll have 2 reports under our belt plus the unemployment report today. I'll show you how I connect those reports to come up with a probability of direction for the month of September. This is a very valuable lesson, and we'll cover that on Thursday, okay? On Friday, this is a great one. I like this. How to turn a loss into a gain. That's something every trader needs to know how to do, and I'll show you what I do, okay? For example, how valuable you think that lesson would be if you could turn a lot of those losses that you've taken in the past into gains? Does that put a little value on that lesson on Friday? Give me some feedback. You like these topics? I think there's some good topics next week. We got a big week planned. Hope Adam gets everybody there, and I think we'll have a good time. Now, all train and trade recordings can be found on the Tom Busby YouTube channel. Go to Live tab. Remember, we track every trade we do on Train and Trade through our world-class TNT, okay? TNT, dtitrader.com/TNT, okay? Five things to watch next week. Tuesday, iPhones and Apple Intelligence updates can move Apple and key suppliers. Evidently, they got some big announcements next week for Apple. I just get the feeling it's going to be a big, big announcement day on Roger Maris Day. Why not call it Roger Maris Day? Well, as a Yankee fan, okay, he wore number 9, September 9th. That's the way I remember these key dates like that. Pretty cool. That's on Tuesday. There's the inflation report on Wednesday and Thursday, and you get a special benefit if you attend that special session I'm gonna hold at 3 o'clock on all the stuff you can connect the dots from those three reports, predict the month you're in. Okay? I never showed people this, but I'll show you what I do. Steve, yes, I do. The best program would be to join the Power program and get the white papers and all that. In fact, I'm putting that together right now, okay? And I'm doing it. Yeah, Jonathan, will you give him a link for Power, or Adam, the link for the Power program for Steve, and send him also the white papers? Yeah, get joined there. I'll see your name come through, and then I'll have Jonathan send you some videos and emails to help you get started. Okay? Carol says, save a lot of time, join our gold program. ECB rate decision press conference Thursday the 11th, September 11th. Oil market comes out. Monthly supply demand, will swing crude. Where do I think crude's going? Let me ask the question. How many people's heard me say I thought crude was going lower this year? Would you say I've been very right about that? I would. I'm being fair judging myself about it. Started out at 77, now it's at 62. Yep, 45 is my target. You got it, Mark. Earnings to watch next week: Oracle, Adobe, KR, and CME. AI is a big topic for all these companies. I'm curious about what Adobe does with it. Hey, let me ask y'all a basic question, just a basic question. Let's assume that crude oil prices drop to $45 a barrel. If crude oil prices drop to $45 a barrel, would you say that inflation should rise or fall during that process? I'm just asking a basic economic question here. It seems like most people that are traders or like you and everybody else understand that, but Powell, the Fed chairman, doesn't get that basic economic fact. You see where the frustration comes from? Phelps, I bought I need to give you a call anyway, Phelps. Let me give you a call after the close today, okay? I'll explain the best way to do it. All right, here's our schedule for next week. That's what we're going to be doing. Pretty powerful week. And then, of course, we'll meet Sunday night.
Yep, that was a reminder to get the WPC trade off, Tom. We've done that already.
We're ahead of schedule then. We got it off, didn't we?
Sure did.
All right. The 25-cent trader. This is a program that I developed. I was a challenge to show people how to make money buying options at 25 cents. Now, I did that because it was a big challenge because I really never paid attention much to those type options unless I was a seller of those options, right? And then I perfected the art of doing that. And next week we got two main reports, PPI and CPI. So we'll be putting on some trades next week in that. We call it Tom Busby's 25-cent trade. Can you believe, how many people believe you could buy an option for 25 cents and make money? Nobody ever teaches this. I think this is something that typically I'm a seller of those type options, but generally speaking, there's a certain criteria I found and discovered that would allow you to really benefit if you pick the right time. Happens about 5 times a month. This month is special because you got a Fed meeting with interest rates. John Reynolds says, I know how to do it because I subscribe and you taught me. Thanks, John Randall. In fact, we did a trade yesterday that we put in 24 cents. We sold it for 46 cents today on $1,000. $1,000 if you put in there, you made 900. Anybody would like to do that next week a couple times? Well, you can't do it unless you're in my 25-cent program. So I'm challenging you to join. Nobody shoots for these doubles or triples like this. I don't do it every day. Don't do it every month even. I do it when the setup's there. And the setup is here. We're going to take advantage of it. The 25-cent alerts next week will be something we'll look at to do. You get email, text, and telegram alert. Have an automatic exit. Today, we had to exit in at 39 cents. We got filled at 46 cents on the opening. Pretty simple. We have a course that you can learn how to do this. Today was straightforward, buying a simple call option, hold it overnight, and let somebody else pay us more money this morning at almost the high. I think we sold at the high of the day, if I remember correctly. Yep, we did. Good timing. This will help you grow a small account. I keep the risk small. When I'm wrong, we lose about 30% on the trade of how much you put up when I'm wrong. The speed of it's fast when you're right. A lot of fun doing this. Back in the game. Keeping coming. Anyway, you can join for the next 60 days, which give you a look at it for $199 for the next 60 days. So if I was you, take a run with me. All it takes is one like yesterday to make it very profitable, but the lessons are so good when you go through the master classes, okay? The lessons that you'll get for doing this will help you, okay? Anybody make that trade we did today? Type in here how much you invested and what you made. You invested, it cost 25 cents, so for one option, 25 bucks. Yep. So join, go to the master classes. Once you sign up, Adam will direct you there. And we'll get you taken care of by doing it that way. Or you can call 904-706-3532 if you need special hand-holding privileges, right? Okay, here, Deborah did 40. Deborah, you're a small account, right? Okay, she's got a small account and she bought it at 40 of them, $1,000 she invested at 25 cents, cashed out at 45 cents. There's a real life example. Mark was in at 24, out at 50. Way to go. Way to go, Mark. Boy, the tendency is to be greedy when it pops like that, isn't it? These reports make it happen. Not every time, but it's worth doing it. Jim made $1,200 on this trade. Okay. Anyway, take a run with me. Take a run, be part of it, learn something new. And the report's Tuesday, so I'll do a trade on Monday afternoon. Jonathan, remind me to put one on Monday afternoon. Jonathan says, I sure will. I'll remind you Monday afternoon. Birds on Jonathan to remind me. Monday afternoon. Yeah, it really, you can pump up a small account pretty quick. You hit a couple of these in a row, you know. And typically, like I said, my average loss is going to be about 30% when it doesn't hit, so to speak. Okay. Any questions about the 25-cent trader? I think if you want more details, Adam, do you have a streaming copy you can play for everybody if they want to listen to the whole spiel?
Sure do, T-Buzz.
All right. Well, why don't we do that? And then what I'm gonna do is say, everybody have a great weekend. I will see everybody Sunday night, and we'll make it dance. Sunday night. Okay, that's all I got. Had a good week of wins, didn't we, Jonathan? September starting out strong.
Looking good, Tom. Thanks for a great week.
Hey, Steve, check your email. I'm gonna have Jonathan send you the white papers. Go through that this weekend. If you got any questions, send an email to Roe@DTI Trader. Roe@DTI Trader. I work with Jonathan very closely. We talk about all this, and I want you off to a good start. And that's the best program to get off to a good start. Get into the master classes and watch those.
I'll take it away whenever you want, T-Buzz. Just let me know.
You got it, Adam.
All right.
All right, folks, and welcome. What we want to do is, there's a lot of ways, and we talk about this in Train and Trade, about anywhere from 25 cents to $5, depending on the strategy or whatever you're using. And I love 25 centers because those are the huge gains. But let's go through this, and I'll answer any questions at the end of it. Thank you for being here, and we just really got you ready to go. Thanks, Buck, for saying that. Buck says he likes what we're doing today. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, folks. Chance to trade the 25 mid-year market pivot using the same method, seen light and fast doubles, even triples. You know, there's mandatory disclosure. Profits and performance shown are not typical. Any individual subscriber make no future earning claims. And you can lose money. From March 28, 2024, July 21st, 2025 on live trade alerts, 62 total trade alerts with 41 wins, 21 losses. The average trades we run and winners losers found was 2%. We can't guarantee any specific future results as there's always a high degree of risk involved in trading. See our terms on the DTI homepage. Now, take a good look at that quarter. It might just be the most powerful trading tool in the entire market if you have the right timing. You see, what most folks are paying $500 or $1,000 or even more to trade popular stocks like Apple, Nvidia, or Microsoft. I've discovered a way to tap into what could be the cheapest options on the market. This is what I love about it. Love, love, love. Trade only costs 25 cents an option. And by entering on certain predetermined dates, we've been able to watch as these 25-cent trades double or even triple in what feels like no time. Like the quick double in November, 104% gain there, 182% gain in January, tripled in there in March, 214%, telling you, you're going to love it. Now, I don't like to brag. I like to be confident, but this is hardly my first rodeo. In 1992, I was one of the only 50 professionals to be handpicked by the CME to receive my own Globex terminal, the front runner to electronic trading. Those were the days. And I even helped manage firms so successfully, it was eventually bought out by the 1.3 trillion institution, Morgan Stanley. And while I've been very selective about who gets access to these 25-cent trade alerts, our students have access to these 25-cent trades and are raving about them when they set up. Like John. I love the 25-cent trades for someone with a small account. Love the fact that I can trade more than a couple contracts. Makes it feel like Mr. Big. Or Jim T. Loves making money with the 25-cent trades. Did 400% on one. That's 5 times the original investment. Oh, Carlos May. These are hot little trades. Now, if you're trying to guess specific opportunity behind the 25-cent trades, hang tight for just a moment, because we're not talking about trading penny stock. We're talking about big companies, public companies, and setups. We're not talking about risky earnings plays. Think about the people that got killed yesterday in Amazon. And certainly we're not talking about trading complex spreads, naked options, or anything like that. That's the beauty of it. As a matter of fact, each and every trade example was here today could have been taken any regular brokerage account. No specific heavy-duty lifting there. Trading most basic form of call options available, as long as the 25-cent trade is set the day before one of these predetermined dates. 5 big reports every month, and that's when the magic happens. And today I'm doing something that we actually never thought we'd actually do. You know, usually most people like me would never trade these options so cheap, but I figured out a strategy that works at selected times. And that's because these type of speculative options typically lose money for investors. But thanks to the recent discovery, led by myself and the help of 3 financial experts on my team, my whole perspective shifted 180 degrees. That's because only trading these 25-cent options on very specific predetermined dates, shot to jump in and really hit good. 78.3% hit rate according to the full back test. For example, like back in January. Now, if you're looking at the chart, the S&P 500 was roaring higher. I remember it. By mid-January, at new highs, and folks were left guessing if the breakout would continue or would make a natural pullback. Now, you could spend your whole time drawing all these chart patterns, calculating Fibonacci's, reading through endless inflation reports, or trying to guess what would come next. But on January 10th, none of that really mattered, because January 10th was a predetermined date marked down on the calendar. That's the beauty of this. You can plan this out. And as long as someone took 30 seconds to place a trade before the markets closed, a basic call option would work, 194% on that. Now, as great as that is, it gets even better, because the next day, on January 11th, was marked on the calendar too, 23% on that one. And here's what came next, 264% gain. This already gets your attention. That could have been enough to triple the investment on one trade. It wouldn't cost folks hardly anything to get in on the play. Say you started with a small $500 investment on 25-cent trades, you would have had $22.93 in profit. Might not sound like life-changing, but it sure is good, and it's something to go to. That's definitely no chump change either. As a matter of fact, the average Joe only brings in about $6,700 a month. That's pre-tax. Average monthly expenses for American families are hitting $8,454. It doesn't get any lower. And according to these statistics, the average American household starts each month minus $1,746 in the hole. Don't want to be that. Most people are sliding backwards financially. Here's 2 gains here, 194 and 264. You see they're huge percentage gains. That's the beautiful thing about scaling this. 22.93 in profit, just 2 of the trades that month. Keep in mind that we've seen 3 times the amount of opportunities in January. 4-digit wins there. Look at those gains. Wow. Now, you probably wonder what exactly is going on. What are these predetermined dates that allows this kind of movement? Well, finer details on how these 25-cent trades work in just a moment. Plus, a handful of you will be able to grab. This is what's great. Having this calendar in advance All the predetermined dates are set to pay out big, and we'll reveal a top secret bonus trade that costs even less than 25%. Before we get there, I must be frank. Hey, I'm not typically a swing for the fences type guy. That's because, as you know, as I showed you, all trades have winners and losers, and typically even the best swing for the fences strategies out there take the biggest and most frequent losses. Now, if you know me, I don't like big risk. That's why I built my career focused on high actually opportunities, day in and day out, with my usual approach, targeting, just like yesterday, 10 or 20% per trade. And now that I've helped some top students reach jaw-dropping goals from my various research programs, here's some of the best stories. 135 by Manny O at his 5th win in trading. Or Laura, 2,200 in profit, using some of the most basic things she's learned. Denise said she's had nothing but winning trades. Way to go, Denise. Up until now, shooting for 10, 20 profits over and over again. Incredibly high win rate has been my bread and butter. But today I'm finally pulling back the curtain for a very different style of trade. Thanks to these predetermined dates, there's 5 of it in a month. Then you add in the Fed, get a few extra. While at the same time giving us unlimited upside on these short-term moves. Combination of win rate plus upside is in our back test showing the power scale even a small account quicker than anything else I've seen before. And simply by following along with these predetermined dates listed on the calendar right there, these 25-cent trades have a chance to double, even triple extremely fast. For example, like the very next 25-cent trade opportunity in January, while most people are probably searching the internet to see some expert opinions on what the stock market would do next, anyone with their hands on the calendar could have ignored all that nonsense and glanced at January 17th predetermined date circled. That's what's the beauty of it, playing your month. Click a few buttons in the account, set your trade, 101.8% gain on that one. This is not hard work, but you have to know the strategy and the times in the month when they set up. Just check the calendar, place the trade, as long as the trade was entered on the date listed on your calendar before the market's closed. You completely ignored what other people are doing. You're out there, tuned out the herd, just relaxed and enjoyed your life. Hey, there I am throwing a little football with my grand. Or going golfing in the evening. If everything worked out, watch the initial investment more than double, 24 hours. In this case, $2,500 on that one would have turned into a $5,000 profit. Now, I keep talking about these predetermined days and how they give you the exact minute to get in and lock in what could be the double, even triple on these reports. Well, it's definitely what we're aiming for. I want to remind folks, we don't have a magic 8 ball. We can't predict the future. Just like with any strategy, there will be winners and there will be losers. So never bet the farm. That said, there's a reason I tell my students to only take 25-cent trades on these specific dates. Take a look at that eye-opening graph. This is when the movement comes and the explosion happens on these reports. Looking at the S&P percentage movement every day for the past 10 years, plotted on the chart. Notice that chart. Each individual dot represents a single day. Now, between the two lines is the number of days where the S&P moved less than 1%. The majority of days, that's when you're going to lose. But when it moves outside those lines, most likely time for it to happen on these big reports, that's when you're at. As you can see from a quick look, the stock market's flat about 70% of the time, and that's because most of the time the S&P 500 is not a ton of market moving action. That means every 7 out of 10 trading days, the market's stagnant, options are eating time decay, and you're paying for it. Mercantile says 70.6.5% of options are worthless. And now that if you've been trading or investing for a while now and struggle to make consistent profits, this might be the reason. Or if you watch the markets go higher and higher all while your retirement account barely budged an inch, not because you're a bad trader, you just simply don't have the right information. The problem is the majority of the time the stock market barely moves. That's what crushes most trading accounts. However, if you pay attention to this chart, you unlock this gold mine that I've discovered. You strike, and as soon as you'll see these dates when some of the biggest moves in the stock market are not random at all. In fact, they're all predetermined weeks in advance on a calendar just like this one. And on these predetermined dates, we've seen these inexpensive, dirt cheap options double, even triple, sometimes overnight. Just like in February, the biggest payday we've seen so far from 25-cent trade. And keep in mind that February, most of us are still holding their breath, waiting for Fed cut interest rates, still holding that breath. That's because for months Wall Street's been baking in interest rate cut. But the Fed had other plans. Typically, that news would make you want to sell your stock when they don't act. But then when it had the calendar, February 21st date circle, you would have been able to take this strategy to the bank. Because sure enough, the very next day, 391% gain. Take a look at that one. Now again, that's the biggest one we've seen so far from study. I remind you that no strategy is perfect. There's going to be big wins, small wins, and losers along the way. That's just how trading works. But today we're going to hold nothing back. We'll share with you every detail behind the back test we ran. The 25-cent trader immediately gets started on it because Wall Street thinks that monumental place. We found this strategy, this nice place that we can go to and become even more reliable than ever before. In a minute, I'll share exactly what I'm doing. But first, let me explain what's really going on. Every month, there's a handful of key reports published by the U.S. government that move the market. Probably heard of them. Unemployment, we had that today. Next up on the agenda is CPI and PPI, then GDP, PCE, all that. And then if you have a Fed meeting, that's icing on the cake. Now, these reports are typically published in the morning before the opening bell. And as I'll show you, they're set up the most lucrative trading days we've seen all year long. Take a look at this 25-cent trade one day before these market moving reports hit the press. In a blink of an eye, just like that. Sometimes you get a double, triple on these reports. Take a look at the next 25-cent trade from the study market on February 28th. Paid 21 cents for that one. Got in at a discount, didn't we? That next morning at 8:30, just before the stock market was opening for a day, the jobless claims report was published. And by the time the opening bell rang, the S&P immediately shot higher, and 5,000 in shares would have pocketed a nice 550 overnight. But if you took a 25-cent trade with the same starting state, look what you'd have made, $2,381 on the same direction, just using a smarter way to approach it with options. About 16 times better than buying the shares outright, and only 1/20th the cost per position. And based on what our beta testers have said, and even people that have been issued these trades, it doesn't seem challenging at all to take it. Like Tina and Peggy, who wrote the 25-cent trades, they love them, easy to get into, easy to get out to. You know when you're going to be out, have the money for other trades ready and available. Or Tim, who wrote in 25-cent options, low risk, but highly profitable trade, easy to understand. Let me show you another example. Same exact case with the next setup marked on the calendar, March the 6th. On March the 6th, folks didn't have much confidence in the stock market. The S&P 500, NASDAQ were all losing steam, falling north of 1% in a day. Sure, a lot of folks would have still cleared the stock market on a day like that. Hey, I'm unlike a lot of people. All you had to do was set the 25-cent trade on that day that the calendar so identified, and that would have gotten folks in. The U.S. government published their newest jobless claims report the next morning, maybe grabbed a dinner with an old friend or relative. By the time the opening bell rang, pop, 134.7. Pretty cool. Now, we typically get a handful of these major economic reports each month. Each one presents a trading opportunity. The criteria that we've come up with works. In fact, these dates are so powerful they make up almost all the opportunities in the stock market. You're going to be shocked when you see this chart. Look at that chart right there. Most people know the S&P 500 is in a new bull market, an extremely hot run. But most people don't realize is, if you highlight these major economic report dates I've been talking about all day long, go where the action is. Let's remove those from market moving days. Chart becomes totally dismantled, going from unstoppable bull market to sideways action. Nothing. And as you can see, trading outside these predetermined dates is a dangerous time. and a fast track losing money by buying options. If you're trading options, and by only isolating these explosive dates, that's where the money's made. And that's why I've developed a special calendar with all these dates mapped out in advance. You know when they are, you know when the setup comes, plus critical instruction on how to set the trades for optimum results. Be part of this program today and have total access to the whole world of trading small price options. And all left to do, take a quick trade on the date shown if you want to, like this one here on July the 26th, a 54% gain, December 20th, 152% gain, or May 24th, a 334% gain. Oh, it's fun. That's $10,000, $867.50 in less than 24 hours. Now, can't retire on money with that kind of money. It would definitely be a nice buffer to pay off maybe a car loan, plan a next vacation, or just save for a rainy day. There's some serious financial cost here. You saw the way they're rising. It could have been listed in 24 hours. I have to admit, after seeing the power of these predetermined dates on the chart, you ought to see it too. That's where the action is. Almost seems foolish to trade any other way when you're playing this strategy. But now you might be wondering, can you go ahead and pick any option every time one of these dates pop up? Of course not, folks. If it were that easy, everyone would be doing it. You got to have all the pieces of the pie. My team has developed a very strict set of criteria to give you an edge on these market moving days. We filter out a lot of information, the week's open, the month's high, average trading range. Then we sort through the options to find the optimum expiration strike price, always around 25 cents per option. And then we set the trade with outline profit targets, stop loss levels ready to go. We do all the heavy lifting, and we take care of setting it up for you, teeing it up for you. All you got to do is take the trade. Actually following along with the trade is no more difficult than riding a bike, using basic call or put options to access that direction, access it in your regular broker account, 401k or IRA. And I simply can't keep these 25-cent trades quiet any longer. Learn how to do it. Especially as we see huge market movement events multiplying before our very eyes. So from the private trade alerts for about this, we're actually outperforming testing so far. Monica wrote, she loves the 25-cent option plays. They're affordable, quick to produce, and usually give you 100% of profit. That's the goal. You're having big hits here. Like Doug, 400% gain on his, high reward, low cost of entry. Or David, here's another one. Pretty accurate, quick, clean rewards. These are incredible stories. I can't wait to hear from the new traders like you to join today. You see, there's a giant shift on Wall Street I firmly believe will make these opportunities more lucrative, and you really can't afford to miss this time around. First, if you'd like to be on the next 25-cent trade, plus access your copy of the password-protected calendar with all the dates listed, let me hear from you this very minute. If you're serious about doing it. Today, you could be on a few people that we're going to let into explosive 25-cent trades. Each, when they set up, we call it the 25-cent trader. Only place in the world I know that focuses on this segment of the option market, shooting for the next double or even triple. Once you claim the discounted spots, we've identified you. You're ready to go. You get in the channel, you're ready to go. Then we look at the next day, we're ready to rock, we're ready to roll all day long. In the same trades, I'd recommend anybody that wants to do this strategy. Inside the alert, you get everything I believe you need to place the trade. You see the date that is identified. It talks about the report, when to get in, when to get out. The ticker that we're going to use, the analysis that got us here, plus the 25-cent option criteria. All you do is copy trade, have a shot at what could be the next great win. 180% gain, like January 31st, or 2,500 on this one. Yeah, $4,500 overnight. That'll make you smile. Now, you get your exit alert as well when we close out. That way you're never left in the dark. And make sure that you always get instant access to Signal. I'll be sending you alerts via email, cell phone, and telegram 3 ways to make sure you get the trade. Now, whether you're at the beach with friends, out playing a little golf, talking at a seminar, you'll never miss out. You just want to place a trade before the market closes. That's the key, and then you're all set before that report. That brings me to the next piece of your membership. System is designed with very specific entry prices, stop losses, and profit targets. Always going for optimum gains while avoiding holding on the losers for too long. That's a big benefit. Come back to play again. I call it the automatic exit plan with the 25-cent options. That way you set the trade, walk away to enjoy whatever you want to do, and even include exclusive information on automatically how to reduce your risk. But not just that. I know some of you might be new to trading. This is a great way to have some big gains to talk about. First of all, I want to rest assured that in the 25-cent trader, we use the most basic form of options available. I usually don't use spreads, condors, or nothing like that. It's a straight out, let's get it. That said, I'm including a special trading. I'll teach you options all the way from the rookie level to pro level in case we want to use it. The course is called Options Made Simple, a course that we put together over about 6 to 8 months. It's the best course I know out there with strategies, how to tie the strategies to whatever is happening in the market. We give it to you as part of your subscription. There's a reason I included in-depth training. Since the 2020 pandemic, we've seen these major economic reports only more and more impactful, especially the higher you go. You see that, with the higher you go, you get more bang for your buck. And these predetermined dates have only gotten more powerful as time goes on. Well, I think Wall Street's got it figured out. That's why you're seeing them leverage short-dated options at a rate like any other time in history. And now most folks have no clue how to use their highly leveraged options. I'll show you how. And I'll show you how we can plan to use them to target doubles, even triples on predetermined dates. Especially if folks have already seen the 25-cent at work. You become a believer real quick. Like Rhonda, 25-cent options and small account friendly, risk small, great reward. Or Bruce, 25-cent trade, less than 24 hours to see results. Fun to take a trade. Love the wins, keep it coming, according to Sue. You could charge anything you wanted to for this kind of membership. It's very detailed from that standpoint. The work is done for you. It's teed up for you. And you have to pass or say, I'm taking it. So what are we thinking on the price for Elite membership? They wanted to go high, $69.97 per year. With the potential, it's there. Let's do something fun and cut the price in half to $34.97. Since we're live, I like to make things a lot more palatable when I'm live. It gets even better. Here's some special bonuses lined up for new members. Join the Lifetime Elite Member Discount. Do it today. That's bonus number 1. Lifetime Elite membership for anybody that wants to take it right here in the room. I'll knock off $1,000 off the price of the membership.
Hey everyone, for those listening, this afternoon we offered a 60-day trial for $199. So I just posted the link in that. This is just an older presentation that goes through a lot more details on the program. So that's why I'm playing it. But I just posted the link to both the 60-day and the lifetime. But I'll go ahead and continue the video now. Just wanted to give you a heads up.
So 34 for 1 year is a heck of a deal, but $24.97 for life is a steal. Drop that link, boys and girls. Drop that link. If you're one of our Elite members here today, it won't run you $24.97. That brings me to my final bonus. Hit the ground running faster you ever could imagine. $25 per maximum on these options. Or to get up on your feet, start a lap ahead of everybody else. Your first 50's on me, cuts the price down $1,250 more. This is lifetime. That's right, lifetime. $1,247. One price, and you're in for life. This deal is only good for members who jump in right now while I'm live. We're going to take it down. If you wait too long, you'll be outside looking in. and pass that first trade that we're going to do. You read my emails about epic results. We're getting with new members. Do not procrastinate. Never procrastinate. Take one of the discounted memberships for yourself. Go to dtitrader.com/25 cents, or you can call 904-706-3532 if you got any questions. Click the link in the chat. There it is. Special surprise for those that join today. dtitrader.com/25 cents. Or you, like I said, you can call 904-706-3532. Again, $12.47 lifetime deal for elite members today. It's ready to go. It's ready to fly. Let's do it. Hey, I've done it, and I have to admit, it's pretty special to be a 25-cent trader. There's one I did right there. Got in at 27.49, just to show somebody I was demonstrating how powerful they are. We're from 1166 overnight on that one. Starting right now, jump in. Don't wait. It's very, very weak. Don't miss a new trade this week. Go to dtitrader.com/25 cents, or like I said, you can call. This is a lifetime membership. I want to do that. VIP, get on the same experience that some of our students have had. They love how quickly they work. 4x times 25, you can do the math yourself, according to what Dave said. Patrick loves these trades for a small account. 25-cent trades. Hey, this is pretty good stuff here. As Brian said, many more stories just like those. Go ahead and grab your 25-cent VIP trader, dtitrader.com/25 cents. Got any questions? Ask them now. I'll answer them. Ask questions about when we do it and how we do it. Every day you got a live room you go to and ask about questions, the trades that we did, what happened and all that. Hey, let's answer some common questions. Question on how much money is it? Well, the trades are down at 25, the price of 25 cents for an option. Being able to pick those takes something special. $25 a contract. No strategy wins 100% of the time, though. You've got to be aware. But according to our test and the work we've done, be part of it. Profitable those that stick to the discipline. We can play the market either up or down. That's the beauty of it. And you're not holding long periods of time. You get your money back after about 72 hours. Can you trade this in IRA? Of course you can. It's retirement account friendly.
Polish president, when a reporter questioned
Now what's the next one? Hey, you'll get that information when you join.
loudly,
Go to
you know I haven't taken action. Find yourself a new job.
the membership, read the master classes. The 25-cent options are so explosive.
Behavior
Don't miss the next trade next week.
brought up
Go to dtitrader.com/25 cents, or you can call and get questions answered. Folks,
you know they wanted
you will find that 25 cents an option, you really get to have
party whining, thinking the
nerves of steel.
world.
And really, I've seen people do really well when they only got $25 exposed or a multiple thereof. Something about it. Hey, 10 contracts is only $250, right? Okay, there you go. Playing with the big boys. So folks, this is what we're going to do. I want you to get by. Anybody got any questions at all? We've been here all day with you today. I hope you take me up on this lifetime opportunity in the 25-cent trader. I think you're going to find you made a good decision, number one. And I remember in August, I was driving back from Georgia, okay? And when I was driving back from Georgia, I had an option I paid 25 cents for. The sucker was $4.50 on the road. I remember going down the highway thinking, I need to pull over and take some profit on this sucker. Anyway, what size account do you need? Man, 2,000 is plenty. Think about how many options you can buy at 25 cents for 2,000 if you really press the bet. That's pretty good. How long do you stay in the trade? No more than 72 hours. No more. Win, lose, or draw. No more. If you know how to put in a call option, you know how to put in a put option, very simple when these set up. And you got the calendar to know those dates in advance. I'll be right there with you to go through it with you to make sure you get it, get you in, get you out, and do it. If you're new to trading, will it work for you? Absolutely, it'll work for you. Matter of fact, it's a great way to take a small account and grow it. 25 cents, that's not much, but I like it. You know, I wanted to do this because I typically will, you know, my favorite price option is about 3. I like $1 options with spreads and that kind of stuff, but 25-cent option, come on. Learning my technique, you've got the odds in your favor. I guess that's the best statement I can make about getting those odds in your favor. You saw what happened when you get that movement. If you get that movement, that's when you rack up. And the movement happens during usually one of those big reports, like we had today. If there's someone, if needs help, is there someone standing by to help you? Absolutely. Absolutely. We don't leave you hanging. If you need help, we'll show you how it works. Pretty cool stuff, though, I can tell you that. You know? Any other questions? I know one thing. I think I might do one today, especially with what happened. Okay? In this market kicking them off. Let's look. Be a good time to do one. What do you think? Let's do one. Well, I want to thank everybody for being here. And if you need help with the trade, I'll help you. I want to say, see you later on today. I'm here all day. What a start to the month. Avoid all this pain and suffering, right? Love it. And Amazon keeps going lower and lower and lower. I love that too, I'm sure. All right, y'all have a good day. See you on the flip side.